Welcome everyone to Fairmount Park and one of its most beautiful locations, Schuylkill River Trail. And before I start my remarks, I just want to compliment and lift up the work of Joe Siernick and his staff and the board of the Schuylkill River Development Corporation for the fine work they do here every day, maintaining and operating, I think, one of the most beautiful inner city, center city trails in all of America. So we have a round of applause for Joe and his fabulous staff and board. Before I came back to Philly, I worked as the Secretary of the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources. And I was privileged to see the state close up. And every city and town that had any view of itself for the future were thinking about trails and their waterfront in a new way, in a creative way. And that new way was reclaiming it, not just for its social value, its recreational value, but reclaiming it for its economic value and its competitive value in the future of their cities. And we've done a great job here in Philadelphia under the leadership of our Mayor Michael Nutter, and all the city operating departments, including mine, that are involved in this work. But today we're here to announce a step up in that approach, not only here in Philadelphia, but in the region, not only here in Pennsylvania, but in South Jersey. So we're here today to announce a new coalition, a exciting coalition of government, nonprofit, and private sector entities to look at this work, as well as a new name for that coalition, and to announce a fabulous new website that'll direct and guide users in a in a fun and safe and informational way to use the existing trail system and to understand what's in the future. So this is a really, I think, a big announcement here today, and we're so happy to have all of you here with us. Our first speaker will be Terrence Farrell, who is the Chester County Commissioner and is on the DVRPC board, and who has done fabulous work in Chester County on the building those trail links, which will be important to this new system here in the region. So Terrence, can you please come to the podium and help welcome Terrence with me.
Good afternoon. As Mike said, I'm Terrence Farrell. I'm from Chester County. I'm a county commissioner there, and I'm also a board member of DVRPC, the Delaware Valley Regional Planning Commission. Chester County has been hard at work connecting our communities to our region with county-wide network of trails. The Chester Valley Trail, Steuble Trail, and Brandywine Trail are each essential components of the regional network we celebrate today. DVRPC has helped support the efforts of Chester County and other counties, offering a long-term vision for the region's transportation system, of which trails are an essential component, and funding trail building through the Transportation Improvement Program, the TIP, and more recently, the Regional Trails Program, which was made possible by a $10 million grant from the William Penn Foundation to DVRPC. We are thankful to the foundation for supporting our trail building efforts. In Chester County alone, we have 270 miles of completed trail, not all of which are part of the circuit. Now I'd like to introduce someone who has been a constant advocate for active transportation and for a regional network, a leader in the effort to create a greener region, the Honorable Michael Nutter, Mayor of Philadelphia.
Terrence, thank you very, very much, Commissioner Farrell. We have a number of folks to thank and to recognize. I'm pretty excited about today, and thank you all for coming out. First and foremost, again, our very, very good friend and member of the Metropolitan Caucus, Chester County Commissioner Terrence Farrell. Please recognize him. and a whole host of stakeholders and folks who have been actively engaged in this process. We have representation from at least a couple sides of the river. Assemblyman Angel Fuentes, who is Assemblyman from New Jersey in Camden. Mayor Dana Redd could not be here, but Assemblyman, we greatly appreciate your presence. Camden County Freeholder Director Lou Capelli, Jeremy Nowak, who of course is the Executive Director of the William Penn Foundation. Now earlier I saw him somewhere right around here. Where did he get to? He's hanging out in the back there. Jeremy, thank you. Jerry Sweeney, President and CEO of Brandywine Realty Trust, but also a tremendous leader here at the Schuylkill River Park. Assistant Secretary for DCNR, Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, John Giordano. Of course, Deputy Mayor Mike DeBaradinas, Deputy Mayor Rina Cutler, our Chief Sustainability Officer, Catherine Gajewski, that was here, as well as Deputy Mayor Cutler's Chief of Staff, Andrew Stober. We also have federal partner representatives here as well. Sheila Green is from U.S. Senator Lautenberg's office. Aileen McCandless is from U.S. Senator Menendez's office. Aaron Wilson is from U.S. Senator, Pennsylvania Senator, of course, Bob Casey's office. And let me mention one other person. This is one of those proud moments. So you see this great logo and graphics here, and that was designed by a young man, David DeAlba. He's apparently related to Ed DeAlba. It's his son. And he is the person who named the circuit. He's at Urban Engineers. Give it up for David. David, I've been asked to inform you that notwithstanding that great feat, you do not get any royalties from the naming of the circuit, Greater Philadelphia's Regional Trail Network. And lastly, I want to recognize Sarah Stewart, who's the Policy Director of the Bicycle Coalition here in Philadelphia. Three years ago, I celebrated with many of you when Philadelphia received a federal Tiger Grant from the Department of Transportation to support construction of new trails across our region. That grant provided more than $17 million for construction of 7 different trail segments, including the pedestrian bridge and boardwalk right here on the Schuylkill River Trail. It also leveraged an unprecedented $10 million from the William Penn Foundation for trail planning and construction, which has resulted in grants of more than 24 projects throughout the region in 2011. So let's give it up one more time for the William Penn Foundation. Jeremy, thank you. That Tiger Grant marked a milestone in the development of our trails network. It demonstrated that our trails are an important part of what makes Philadelphia a great place to live, work, and raise our families. It also underscored the enormous value trails have to our communities on both sides of the Delaware River. Today we mark another milestone, and we're giving our trails a new name. From now on, the network of trails that connects communities from Philadelphia to Reading, from Downingtown to Doylestown, from Wilmington to Trenton, and across the bridge to Camden, Collinsworth, Haddonfield, Morristown, and beyond, will be known as the Circuit. And it really is a name that fits because it speaks to the connections among our communities. They link us to our rivers and parks. They provide access to places where we work, where we shop, and we play back and forth across the region. Every time a new segment of trail is completed, the lights of economic and civic activity shine a little brighter in this city and this region. Connecting the circuit of trails in our region makes the greater Philadelphia area a stronger, smarter, and more sustainable urban and suburban environment that attracts new companies and employers who choose to base their operations right here. This is something I'll be proud to tell my fellow mayors as the soon-to-be incoming president of the U.S. Conference of Mayors next month. The The circuit is a key element of other planning initiatives in Philadelphia, including, of course, the nationally and internationally recognized GreenWorks Philadelphia Plan, Philadelphia 2035, and Green 2015. I've said on a few occasions, at least in Philadelphia, planning matters, design matters, how we do things matters. So let me take a few moments to just once again recognize and ask for recognition of the leadership of the William Penn Foundation, the Delaware Valley Regional Planning Commission, and the many, many dedicated organizations, many who are represented here behind me, who worked so hard to build the circuit and bring us to this exciting milestone. Please recognize these great leaders behind me. And you'll hear from them in a few minutes, and I know, apologize again that we kind of hijacked the front end of this press conference. But no one has been more excited and more focused on these kinds of issues than the person who was at the podium with me just a little while ago. And I'm going to ask for special, separate recognition for our great State Senator, Anthony Hardy Williams. Senator, thank you very, very much. It's great when we see leaders from our civic community, our political community, and our business community here today working together. They recognize the positive economic impact that the circuit will provide. I hope more businesses and more foundations will join Jeremy and Jerry and Tony Williams to continue leveraging the funding that this trail network has attracted from the public sector, and that of course is both our city, state, and federal. And we're very excited to have so many of our federal stakeholders represented here today, working together to help complete and to connect the circuit. I also want to recognize all the city agencies that were involved in this work as well. I talked about the Deputy Mayor for Transportation and Utilities, Reiner Cutler, Deputy Mayor and Commissioner of Parks and Recreation Department, Mike DeBerardinis. I look forward to cutting a number of ribbons, as we all do, on the various projects that are in the pipeline, such as the connector bridge at the end of this park, the boardwalk that will extend the Schuylkill River Trail to the South Street Bridge, the Walnut Street Bridge Gateway, Bartram's Garden Trail, the 58th Street Greenway, the Manioc Bridge Trail, and a new section of the Schuylkill River Trail from Shawmont to the Montgomery County line, and the Port Richmond Trail on the Delaware. I may need to invest in some new walking shoes or just eventually buy a bike. With all these trails going on, I need a new way of getting around. Completing the circuit, as you well know, it won't happen overnight, but we're making great progress to get it done as soon as possible. Today I'm delighted to be a part of this historic announcement, offering another great amenity right here in Philadelphia that extends the city, of course, naturally to our suburban neighbors. With its new name, and we hope that everyone will change their databases and their automatic applications to start calling it the circuit. This will build momentum to lead us into a brighter future in the city, in the region, complementing our goal to be the #1 green city in the United States of America. Thanks a lot and congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor. I referenced my time in Harrisburg earlier, and there are few in the state capitol who understand the importance of trails and open space and parks and healthy and clean rivers, and few who can talk about it with passion and energy in a convincing way. And that is our next speaker, Senator Anthony Hardy Williams. Please join me in welcoming him to the podium.
For those who were here earlier, I apologize. The mayor told me I was a little anxious, so riding a bike calms me down. I haven't been on a bike for about 20 years though, apparently, so that may be part of the problem.
Never too late.
Never too late. It's not the last. This is not the first time I've been here though, and I will tell you one of the reasons why I did want to come and stay and remain is because while some people build these trails with the understanding of bike riders and trails, and that may have been a part of your lifestyle, the extraordinary thing is the length of this covers a variety of demographics. Some who may not have been at peace with nature. They've never seen the scenic Schuylkill River. They've never, frankly, been out of their neighborhood. This is one of the most extraordinary, not experiments, but events in urban living that I've been proud to be associated with. The work that's been put behind this, because I was there when people said, well, why would you spend that much money on trails and it's for a particular type of people? One of the reasons why I defended that selection of revenue and that supported that at the state level was because this truly is about all Pennsylvanians and all types of Pennsylvanians. Even those, frankly, who are maybe not as able-bodied as we all are who ride a bike, but are, frankly, on different types of wheels. Those who may not be mentally gifted, but, frankly, can enjoy the outside and scenery. Those, frankly, who may be captured in violence and never seen the broader opportunities of a community other than those that they've resided in. For those reasons, I'm not just a fan, I'm a fanatic of these trails. And certainly I may not bike all the way to Chester. I won't lie to you, unless it's in a motorized bike. But I will be a walker on this trail, and I've been a walker on this trail. And I've seen the broad array of seniors, young people, old people, skinny people that I'm envious of, broader people like myself trying to become skinny, Latino, Asian, men, women. It is an extraordinary moment of American living and lifestyle when you cross these trails. And I will also tell you that when you cross these trails, the times that, frankly, sometimes we stereotype each other, these are the times when we don't. I've witnessed people passing each other in peace and fellowship in ways I've never seen that in Philadelphia. I'm grateful that the coverage is out here, because I think that, for unfortunately, the coverage we get in other parts of Pennsylvania about what the negative things are, this is truly one of the shining stars of this part of Philadelphia and certainly all of Pennsylvania. For those reasons, I tip my hat to the supporters, Jerry and Jeremy, the mayor, the folks from Chester County, those from the federal government, and those who are part of the organizing committee, and those from the Bike Association. I'm grateful. By the way, I apologize. What's her name again? Sarah. Thank you for your hard work and your dedication to bicycling. But I still need your help on those who seem to bicycle in the middle of Chester Street. We'll work that out. I want them to be on the trail, so we'll build more, okay? But we're grateful for all the combination of personalities and perseverance to get us to where we are today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator. You all have a sense of this effort and its size and its the amount of money that's moving through here, and the coordinating complexities of all the organizations in and outside of government. And DVRPC is really that's the go-to group that sort of puts all this together and keeps it on track. And here to speak to us is the board executive director of the corporation, Barry Seymour. Barry.
Thanks very much, Mike. Well, what a beautiful day, huh? I think I speak for everyone here that I think we'd all rather be out of our suits and on a bike and out on the trail today. But we really appreciate everybody coming out today. They say to get anything done, it takes connections. And the trail system, the circuit, is really about connections. It's about connecting communities. It's about connecting Pennsylvania, New Jersey. It's about connecting Philadelphia and the surrounding towns and counties. It's about bringing people together across this region and viewing our metropolitan area as a region. I think that as you travel by bicycle, you get to experience place in a different way. You get to see it in a way that's faster than walking but slower than driving. It's at a pace where you can really appreciate the communities that you're traveling to and get to appreciate the changes as you move through those communities. And this circuit, this network of bicycle trails is really about that. We've been really fortunate to be able to help serve as a coordinating body for this, because to get anything done, it takes partnerships. It takes partnerships between the government agencies, the business community, the nonprofit community, the philanthropic community. And we particularly, again, want to thank and acknowledge the William Penn Foundation, who made a commitment of $10 million to support trail development here in the greater Philadelphia region. To date, we've awarded $5 million in trail grants, another $500,000 in planning grants for future trails. and we look forward to another $5 million coming up later this year for additional trail projects. So you're going to see trail construction happening all over this region. We are really excited to be part of this, give everyone the opportunity to experience the larger Philadelphia region. I'd like to acknowledge a couple of other partners, key folks who are here really from the very beginning. The Pennsylvania Environmental Council was a very active partner. Spencer Finch and Patrick Starr I see here today, so thank you to both of you and folks at PEC for all your hard work. As well as everyone who's played a part in this. We have a long way to go. It's a vision. I think we're maybe halfway there, and we look forward to working with everybody to complete this. Now, you've heard a lot from folks so far on this side of the river, not that river, the Delaware River. So it's my pleasure to introduce Assemblyman Angel Fuentes. The Assemblyman is a former Camden City Council president, very active, engaged, a leader in supporting development in Camden and quality of life issues at the city level, now at the state level. We're really glad that he was able to be here today. Assemblyman Fuentes.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much, Barry. This is truly a significant and historical partnership. And Mayor, if I could, this is Philadelphia and Camden, perfect together. I know that's been, please. At least that'll be the motto in Camden. Philadelphia and Camden, perfect together. Mayor, again, thank you for welcoming us to your city, Philadelphia. Today, I am delighted to be celebrating a vision that will build on the value of the Camden and Philadelphia waterfronts and help bring our communities even closer together. The trail network we have now is bringing new energy to Camden and the South Jersey region by providing new access to open space, new transportation alternatives, and new access to our rivers and parks. This year, through the federal Tiger Grant program, we'll be completing 3 major trail development projects in Camden that will connect 10 miles of the Camden Greenway Trail network. By connecting trails across the whole region, the circuit has the potential to connect people in Camden County to jobs, outdoor recreation, shopping destinations, schools, public transportation, and other communities across the region, and to connect residents of other communities to all of what Camden County has to offer. I think it's important to emphasize that it's going to take all of us working together to complete the circuit. Public-private partnerships have been vital to building the trails we have now. And as we complete the circuit, those partnerships will be even more important. And I especially want to recognize the work of our new United States Senators from New Jersey, Robert Menendez and Frank Lautenberg, as well as our Congressman, Rob Andrews. Also, the City of Camden. Unfortunately, the mayor couldn't be here. That's Dana Red. And the Camden County freeholders and others in Camden leading the way, including Cooper's Ferry Partnership, New Jersey Conservation Foundation, and Greenways, and Camden Greenways, Inc., as well as the William Penn Foundation. Completing the circuit means building new trails, connecting existing trails to each other, and helping people from all walks of life improve their lives, their communities, and our region. And for that, I thank you very much. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Angel. Most of us know, but particularly those of us in government, know that without a smart, bold, and courageous philanthropic community, projects like the Schuylkill River Trail and initiatives as big and as bold as the circuit just don't happen. And we here in Philadelphia are lucky that we do have that bold and courageous and visionary philanthropic community, and a particular foundation that's led by our next speaker, the William Penn Foundation, led by its president, Jeremy Nowak. Jeremy, please come to the podium.
Thank you, Michael. It's a pleasure to be here. I want to thank the political and civic leaders who came before me and have been so important to this. I want to recognize Andy and Sean and Patrick, my sort of three Irish tenors from William Penn Foundation, who really are the people that have worked on this, and along with Feather Houston, who was my predecessor, who was so important to this. And of course the Haas family, where the assets of the William Penn Foundation come from, and for whom the environment is absolutely critical. And so let me just, I don't want to repeat what other people have said, but let me just say a few things. First of all, David Dalba, I love the circuit. I love that name. It works. I feel like I'm almost cool saying the circuit. And if you want to feel really cool, go to the website, connectthecircuit.org. It is a great website. So I want to put in a plug once again, for David, for you. I used to, when I first got to the William Penn Foundation, I would walk down the hall and there would often be this like huge group in there, and they were having entirely too much fun, and I didn't know who they were, and they certainly didn't come out of a chamber meeting. And I would say, who are these people? And they would say, it's the Bicycle Coalition. And I would say, who the hell are the Bicycle Coalition? And when are bicyclists going to obey traffic signs? I would say things like that. So they would say, I'm sorry, I had to get that in. And they would say, they're doing this amazing work. It's not just about bike paths. They are visionary in terms of doing this. And I'd say, yeah. And it turned out they were right. And they are doing amazing work. So thank you for your leadership in this. So why is this important to us? I mean, over the last 20 years, we've put more than $30 million into trails. So why is it important? And we will continue. Some of you know we're doing a new plan, but I can assure you we will continue to put resources into this kind of work going forward. And why does it matter? Well, it matters for the reasons you heard up here. It creates opportunities for public life and civic engagement. It connects citizens to their natural environment. It gives them their rivers and their parks back after many, many years of not having access to them. It creates wonderful opportunities for economic growth. I'll tell you, it does something else. You know, what's one of the things we care about so greatly at the William Penn Foundation, and I know so many of you do, we care about the quality of the natural environment. We care about not only to be by the rivers, but we care about the quality of the watershed that the river represents and as it flows through. And so as we build a connecting trail through this region, as we build a new civic vision of how we're going to connect from place to place across geography, across political unit, across class, across race, ethnicity, as we're going to build that connection, the other thing we're doing is we're creating a constituency for the preservation and improvement of our natural environment. This is not only about public life, but this is about making sure we have the best watersheds possible going forward so that we not only sustain our civic engagement in public life, but we sustain the very basis of living well into this century and beyond. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeremy. Our next speaker, Jerry Sweeney, is the CEO of Brandywine Realty Trust, but also the chairperson of the Schuylkill River Development Corporation, and driving this idea of the circuit deep into the region. Jerry?
I'm delighted to be here, and I know you're all getting tired and it's hot, so we'll keep my comments short, but this is an exciting day. As you've heard from the political leaders on both sides of the river, from Jeremy, from the William Penn Foundation, this has been a great collaboration. It's been underway for more than a decade, so I'm really pleased to be here in a dual role as a board member of SRDC, as well as with Brandywine Realty Trust. And SRDC, which really had its foundations with community groups and university city stakeholders, a lot of the work that was done many years ago by John Randolph and his team has now been transformed into an organization led by Joe Siernick, and his dedicated team and a very enthusiastic board. Joe is, as he's usually doing, he's looking for a photo opportunity out on the Schuylkill River out here in a kayak, so he's out there paddling. But both SRDC and Brandywine share the vision of the value that trails can create. Brandywine, which is a large real estate investment trust, has a large presence here in the city of Philadelphia, and we are delighted to be based here on the Schuylkill Banks. Our building up the river at Sierra Center enjoys one of the best views in the city of Schuylkill Banks. Our buildings along Logan Square have great views of the Parkway. Our assets along the Delaware River have a great view of the emerging North Delaware waterfront and the Penn's Landing area. Our office buildings in Chester County connect to the Chester Valley Trails, and our office buildings over in Camden County are located in close proximity to the emerging trail system over there. So it's wonderful to be here. We really take great pride, both from Brandywine standpoint and from SRD standpoint, to participate in such a erstwhile and enthusiastic collaboration that recognizes not just the psychic value, the neighborhood creation value of trails, but also the fact that trails can be a real competitive edge as Philadelphia and other parts of this region compete for tenants, for employees, for families. And we see that evidence right here on the Schuylkill Banks. 10 years ago, there was very little or no activity. As we measure it today, there's 19,000 trips a week that take place on this trail. It is a great place. As the mayor touched on, we'll be doing an extension of the boardwalk down through South Street. The DuPont Crescent is opening up officially next week. There's been a tremendous resurgence along the Schuylkill and really reintroducing this riverfront to the 27 neighborhoods that Senator Williams alluded to. So we're delighted to be here, proud of this great collaboration, and thank you very much for having me.
I don't think there's another state agency that has as important role in this effort, not only this effort, but in trail work across the state, and that's the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources. And here today representing them is John Giordano, who is the Deputy Secretary for that agency. John.
Thank you. Mayor, Deputy Mayor, you know, there's a thrill you get from self-propelled transportation, from biking, and I see a lot of people with their bikes here today. They understand what I'm talking about. It lowers our impact on the environment, it improves our health, and it provides a gateway for us to connect with different parts of the city and new outdoor adventures. I often ride my bike in Philadelphia. In fact, I got rid of my car in favor of my bike and use it as my primary means of transportation. I even rode my bike here today. I took advantage of the fact that, you know, our office is close by. I was able to run home and grab my bike. I even went to connecttecircuit.org to try to plan my trip down here. So on behalf of Governor Corbett, Secretary Allen, and the entire Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, I want to congratulate all the partners and the citizens of Philadelphia and New Jersey on the launch and unveiling of the circuit. In fact, I can't emphasize enough the importance of these partnerships that led to this launch. Like many of our projects across Philadelphia, the teaming together of the city, the state, nonprofit organizations, foundations, and agencies are what made this all possible. You know, other cities such as New York and Portland, Oregon have long embraced and supported trails for cyclists and pedestrians. But this didn't happen overnight. In fact, the citywide trail transportation network in Portland gradually developed over 30 years. And so, like these cities, today our network didn't happen overnight. Today we unveil a premier system, a system designed to further drive visitation, tourism, and economic growth while promoting the health and social benefits of outdoor activity. This vision, this investment, hits the triple bottom line: improving environmental quality, neighborhood economic value, and the social fabric of our communities on both sides of the river. The Commonwealth is a national trails leader, and the growing system of trails across our region is energizing our communities. As a resident of Philadelphia, I know firsthand that more residents and visitors are utilizing our trails. I daily witness this on my way back from 30th Street Station as I come back from Harrisburg, I walk above the Market Street Bridge and I look down and I see everybody walking, running, and riding their bikes on the trail. And so, DCNR stands committed to further facilitating these enhancements, the renewed public interest they promote, and the positive impact they have on the local economy. Again, congratulations and thanks to the William Penn Foundation, DVRPC, all our citizens, and the City of Philadelphia, all of the counties, the public and private boards of various trail builders, all of our advocates, and most importantly, for everyone's vision. Thank you.
All right, so I think this ends the program, but all of the coalition members I asked to come up, and we're going to get some photos, and someone will orchestrate that. Who's going to do that? Mayor?
So everyone get in front of the podium.
Got it.
So Mayor, you got to do that.
Everybody grab a spot.
All right. Where are we going?
Get in the front of the podium.
Sarah, so everybody has to be in front, nobody behind, or?
Well, two people be behind us.
Yeah, I'll be behind. Let's get the coalition. No, I was in the federal courthouse. Coalition should be up front.
Come down, sir.
No, you were here?
You're very welcome.
Hey, I'm happy to thank you for.
Okay, so everyone gets,